Hey y'all, welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. On Monday, I grilled up some beef burgers and I seasoned them with some of that Steak and Shake seasoning. And for our side, I made some zucchini chips that I baked in the oven. So I just had my zucchini that I have washed and I sliced it as thinly as I could, and then I just drizzled some olive oil, and then I just kind of mixed everything to get everything coated well. And then for my breading mixture, I have a mix of Italian breadcrumbs, garlic, salt, pepper, and some Parmesan cheese. So I just take each slice of zucchini and I just dredge it in that mixture and lay it on a parchment lined cookie sheet, and I let it bake at 425 for 25 minutes. I also boiled up some corn and I put my burger on a bed of lettuce along with some pickles and some of that Taco Bell chipotle dressing. And that was our first time trying the zucchini chips, and they were so good. The ones that I sliced really thin actually got pretty crispy, so I will definitely be making that again. On Tuesday, I made a creamy garlic and Parmesan spinach spaghetti squash. I've made a What's for Dinner video before showing the steps on how I put this together. I can link that in the description box if you want to watch it, and I can also link the recipe. So for Josh and the kids, I made them some spaghetti and meatballs. I just used the Prego spaghetti sauce, and I also mixed in some heavy cream just because I needed to use it up out of the fridge, and they seemed to really like it. And for the meatballs, I use these frozen meatballs that I make all the time. I just cook them in my air fryer and mix those in, and then I sprinkled some more Parmesan cheese on top. Here I'm prepping some sweet potatoes that I'm going to bake in my air fryer. So I have scrubbed my potatoes really well, and then I just dry those off, and I'm just poking holes all over the potatoes so that the steam can vent. And then for my asparagus, I'm just chopping off those woody ends, and I'm just going to throw those away. And then I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil all over those sweet potatoes, and I'm going to rub that in really well. That just gets the skins really crispy the way I like them. And then I'm going to place them in my air fryer basket at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. For the asparagus, I just put it in my pan along with a cup of water, and I let that boil with the lid on for 6 minutes. I drained the water, and then I added in some butter, garlic, salt, and pepper, and I just sauteed that for a couple of minutes, and then I transferred it to a separate plate, and then I sprinkled on some Parmesan cheese, and after about a minute or two, the cheese melts, and it's just my favorite way to cook asparagus. I had some leftover pulled pork in my freezer that I let thaw out, and then I just put it in my saucepan and I let that heat through completely, and I stuffed it inside of my sweet potato, and I just drizzled it with some barbecue sauce. For the kids, we tried out this 3-minute microwave pizza from Kroger for the first time, and they both loved it. I served Riley's with some ranch and some mandarin oranges and strawberries, and then I cut up Boston's, and he had blueberries, oranges, and strawberries. And then for Josh, he doesn't like sweet potatoes or asparagus, so I made him some curly fries, and he put his pulled pork on a hamburger bun. Thursday was a special day, so I definitely splurged. Cheyenne and I traveled out of town to Frankfurt to go and see one of our best friends that we don't get to see all that much. So we went out to eat at Johnny Carino's, and over there is baby Weston. I made a video the day that he was born, and he is almost 4 months old now, and he's so perfect. We just love him so much. A few hours later, before we said our goodbyes, we stopped at Cold Stone Creamery, and it was seriously just one of the best days. Here I have 2 chicken breasts that I have laid on some parchment paper, mainly because I was out of tinfoil, and I just gave that a good spray with Pam. And then I added my veggies, so I added some fresh broccoli and some baby carrots. And then I just took some olive oil and I drizzled that all over the chicken and the veggies. For the seasonings, I just used some oregano, paprika, salt, and pepper, and I just sprinkled that on everything. And then I let it bake at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. I served mine with some mashed sweet potato. I used the leftover baked potatoes from Wednesday, and I just took the skins off, mashed it up really good, and I mixed in some butter and some cinnamon. And since Josh doesn't like sweet potatoes or carrots or broccoli, I made him a baked potato, and that's what he ate with his chicken. And then the kids had some leftover pasta from Johnny Carino's. I just sprinkled that with some Parmesan cheese, and then I cooked up some pizza rolls in the air fryer, and I have some ranch back there, and then I also served it with a banana. On Saturday, I made a creamy tomato and spinach pasta. So I just heated up some olive oil in my skillet, and I sauteed in some garlic, and then I added in a whole can of petite diced tomatoes, and I left the juices in. And then I started adding in my seasonings. So I have some oregano, pepper, and salt. I'm pretty sure that's all the seasonings I used. I will link this recipe down in the description box. So after I have all the seasonings added in, I just gave everything a good stir. And then I added in some tomato paste. I used 2 tablespoons along with half a cup of water. Once I got all that mixed in, I added in some cream cheese. I thought I had the block kind, but it molded. Yeah, that wasn't fun. So luckily I had the cream cheese spread. So meanwhile, I had some penne pasta boiling. And then for my sauce, I added in some Parmesan as the final step. And then I poured that sauce over Josh and the kids' plates because I'm going to later on add some spinach, and I knew that they wouldn't like that. So for me, once I served them, I added in the rest of this baby spinach that I had, and it wilted down really fast, and that was it. So here is mine all plated up, and this recipe was definitely a keeper. We all really liked it. On Sunday, we went out to eat at Logan's Roadhouse. It's one of my favorite restaurants. And that wraps up this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. And also, I'm going to be making a Q&A video. So if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments. It can be about anything. And once I get enough questions, I will make a video. So see you guys next time.